Yeah, so day 69, gonna go for a quick run. Two new things today. One new camera, which is this that I'm filming on, which is the Insta360 Go2. So I'll see how that goes. Nice and tiny, it'll fit on my head here. Give you a bit of a point of view run. And then also down here, I've got my new VJ Spark. So first run out in these. I've got a number of different trail shoes. But yeah, these are nice and light. Nice and orange. Very orange. So yeah, let's see how these go. I'll do a little bit of a review when I get in. First impressions. Yeah, hopefully all good. Just going a little easy 6K trail down a creek. So it's pretty dry today, but off-road pretty much most of the way. So yeah, see how they feel, see how they go. Got these really for my Spartan racing. Here you go, fella. Off you go. Shoes are really good. Only done a couple of K, feeling pretty good. They lock in really tightly, which is great. Grip feels really good, and they're super light on my feet. So I've got a few other pairs. I'll get them all out when I get home just to show you what I'm comparing them against in terms of trail shoes. But yeah, nice and flexible, nice and locked in, nice and tight. Probably a bit too tight around my ankles, sort of around here. So I may need to loosen it. I've got the sort of the runner's lock on. I might just need to undo that. I have issues when I do that sometimes, being too tight. Check out what it's like going up the rocks, eh? How grippy is it? Oh wow, they stick like glue. A bit soggy in the seaweed. Come on, come on. Good girl. So, I've had it on my head, just testing what this like is now handheld, and also with the microphone. So, normally I've been doing this with my phone. This is a little tiny camera, much easier to run with, much easier to start and stop, and much easier, hopefully, to edit at the end of the day. So, yeah, very handy. I'll see what the battery life's like when I get back, and also what the quality's like. But, again, beautiful afternoon for a run, Boxing Day. It's not that warm, it's only about 17, so yeah, pretty good. And no bad view. Testing the shoes out, you can see the type of terrain that I'm on. Sort of very dry. This is sort of typical Aussie summer trail. Very dry, very hard, but pretty uneven because some of the way it's dried, with the grass tufts. So make you sort of lose your feet a little bit, but it can also be pretty hard when you've got standard trail shoes because there's not much cushioning, and this stuff's almost like running on road. So shoes are holding it really well actually, nice and cushioned, nice and light, feeling really good still. We've not gone too far, sort of 4k in, but yeah, so far loving them. So first impressions, VJ Spark, 8k done. They're very orange. They feel very fast, which is a great bonus. Probably the only complaint is that around here they're a little bit too tight, but I think that's probably the way I tighten them myself. Next time I'll loosen the laces, see how I go, but they lock in really tight around the forefoot. There's plenty of room in the front. I did watch a few sort of other reviews and read about these before I bought them, and one of the things was really buy a size up. So these are 8.5 for me. All my other shoes, from all my trail ones, all my Nike ones that I use for my road racing, are all size 8. I am glad that I really got a size 8.5, because I think the size 8 definitely would have been too tight. But first impressions, yeah, they feel fast. We'll see how they go in a race. I mean, I really bought these as my racing shoe. Very lightweight, very similar weight to these, which are my Reebok Mountain Goat. I used to absolutely love these. I've run these into the ground, done thousands of Ks in these, and they're falling apart on me now. The only complaint with these is the grip was absolutely lethal if it was wet. So, and I'm talking sort of wet and hard, like a hard rocks. These would just turn into ice. But they were great for fairly muddy terrain. Just a quick comparison, the Salomon Speed Goat, really not great for running. I don't like these, they're too tight. I've got narrow feet anyway, but they were just too tight. I've actually just turned to using these mainly as a hiking shoe. The base doesn't give you really much cushion, and they're not that flexible either. So yeah, I didn't really like these, and that's probably just me, because I do have another Salomon pair, which is my Ultra Glide, these are just awesome. These are just great. I use these really for most runs over probably 20k, but these are great shoe. I do absolutely love these. Nice and lightweight, again, not too gnarly in terms of the grip, but they do grip on fairly well when the surfaces are wet. And these are the Spartan Craft shoes that I bought. So these have been great during the winter. I did buy them earlier, probably 6 months ago. They've got these awesome drainage holes, so when it is wet and muddy, they work really well. What I've found though is that they're heavy, and in the last sort of Spartan race that I did, which is only 10k and a really flat course, but they do feel heavy, and they're not very flexible. I mean, they're a proper sturdy shoe. So during the winter, in the winter months where it's really muddy, you're going over rocks, yeah, for any really tough mountain sort of courses with lots of mud and grip, these would be perfect. But I really wouldn't use them for racing, which is why I brought these shoes. And again, the grip on the bottoms, not that great in the wet. I'm hoping these are probably half the weight. These are about 324 grams in my size 8. These are about 238 in an 8.5, so almost 100 grams difference, which I think when it comes to like hilly races will make a really big difference, especially going up and down the hills in Bright, which is where I'm planning. I think there's possibly 1,000 meters of climbing, which then means, you know, lugging those things up, especially if they get wet, will really sort of be more of a drain. So I'm hoping these things will be a lot lighter. I mean, the first impressions were great. The cushioning on them was awesome. It was quite hard out there on the trail today, and there's probably another K was coming home really on the road, and they felt great on the road as well. I mean, I wouldn't use them too much on the road because I don't want the grip running down, but yeah, they felt great. They lock nice and tight along the forefoot. They've got this thing called Fitlock. A couple of my old New Balance used to have these, and I used to love those New Balance as well. So first impressions, feel like I'm going to really enjoy these, be a great shoe for racing. But yeah, I'll come back and I'll probably review them again in maybe after 50Ks.